So I'm going to call to order the first hearing of the afternoon upon the application of Stephen and Bernadette Butler through their architect Sean Conley at 14 Cedar Road dated August 23rd, 2024, seeking a special permit or variance as determined by the Board of Appeals to build a two-story addition to the rear of the existing structure. The property is located in a Residence C zoning district. The proposed addition will be built at a distance of 28.1 feet from the rear lot line, when 30 feet are normally required by Article 10, Section 275-10.4A, rear yards of the Milton zoning bylaw. Therefore, the zoning board of appeals has scheduled this hearing to discuss the merits of the case. I am Virginia Donahue King. I'll be acting as the decision maker in this hearing. I'm a member of the Board of Appeals and the zoning administrator. In the file, we have the application of the Butlers. We have a denial letter from our, I seem to have lost the connection.
We can see and hear you.
You can see me and hear me? I can't. Let me see if I can. This is aggravating. We love technology until it lets us down after we become dependent upon it.
Wait.
Well, I'm going to have to do this one blind then. So where was it? We have a denial letter from our building commissioner. We have a letter signed by the applicants allowing that Sean Conley is our contractor agent for the proposed construction project on our behalf at 14 Cedar Road, and we give Sean the authority to speak on our behalf. We also have a plot plan. We have a series of architectural drawings showing elevations of the proposed addition to the home. And we have a petition, kind of in the form of a petition, saying, "Dear members of the zoning board, we are writing to express our support for the variance request submitted by our neighbors Stephen and Bernadette Butler for their property located at 14 Cedar Road in Milton. The proposed changes leading to this necessary variance are minimal and do not negatively impact the surrounding properties. We have confidence that they will continue to be respectful of our community standards and will work to minimize any potential disruptions during the construction process. Therefore, in summary, we support the variance request." And that is signed by neighbors at 119 Edge Hill Road, which appears to be Kevin Oliveri, the general manager of the Cunningham Foundation, whose name appears to be Gary Kersey or something like that, and at 191 Edge Hill Road, Andrew Wallacott. So I will ask people as they speak if they would state their name clearly and their address so that I can make a record of that for our hearing to this afternoon. So I will turn it over to Mr. Conley then.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Sean Conley, 66 Sherman's Way, Marshfield, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So I am here on behalf of the Butler family to request this variance for the relief in the rear of the property. They came back they were thinking that their existing rear deck was going to put them in the same area of where the addition was going to go. Once the civil engineer came out and gave us our certified plot plan back, we needed the biggest relief was 1 foot, 11 inches in the rear because we weren't conforming with that 30-foot setback in the rear.
So just so I could, I was having a little bit of difficulty understanding from the architectural plans. The deck that is currently there is 1.1 foot less than what the setback would be with the addition. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. So the deck that was there, the customer was using the deck as a reference point when they started this initial process to begin the plans. And
Mm-hmm.
then when the civil engineer came out, the architect's drawings put it 1 foot 11 inches beyond what they needed to being clear of that 30-foot setback.
Okay, I've got you now. So it's a little bit beyond what they
Yes,
had before. So
yes,
it's a little bit of a de minimis, I think we could probably call this. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Um, so is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, so the customer is Bernadette grew up in this home. This was her
Ah,
child that grew up in. This is her childhood home. They have Steve and Bernadette have 4 children, so they're already outgrew the existing house. So what they're doing right now is just making it available space for them to take over and raise their family in Milton where they want to be. Um, they're not adding. They're adding a master bedroom upstairs, which takes away a bedroom that they're occupying on the second floor right now to give to the kids to have their own living space instead of having multiple kids in the small bedroom area that they have now.
okay. Um, is there anybody that wanted to speak about this or ask any questions of the project?
No hands so far.
Not there so far. Well, since it's after 4 o'clock, I'm going to conclude that there aren't any because they would have been here. So I'm going to close the evidentiary portion of the hearing and decide on this right now. 28.1 feet is quite a large distance, and it's um, very, very, very small from the 1.11 feet that we're looking at here. So I do see this as a de minimis situation here, and it's adding a living space for a family that has used this home for quite some time, and certainly Mrs. Butler for even longer. And it I from judging from what I've been able to see on these the plot plan and the architectural drawings and markups, I see that this is something that will fit in with the neighborhood. The neighbors that have signed the letter petition, whatever we want to call it, are in favor of it, and appear to be the people that would be the most um, affected by the project one way or another. So I'm saying that this is going to add to the properties around it as well as making it someplace that people want to live in for, quite some time. And so I am voting in favor and granting the issuance of a variance for, what, are we asking a special person or variance on this? Mm, 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 mm. Um, as determined by the Board of Appeals. Okay, so we have something that is previous that the no, this looks like a variance. So I will be approving that, and I will be needing to write something, the decision for this that will be filed with the town clerk. And at that point, a 20-day appeals period tolls. And even though it's been approved here, we have to give people the chance to appeal it should they not be here tonight. So that's what that is all about. But during that time, you can do some preliminary things that are not going to get into that area. You can, so you can't get your building permit yet, but you can perhaps start, the process of preparing for the this is very weird talking to a screen that has a big blue
Yes, ma'am.
Zoom workspace on it. So I'm a little startled, but so anyway, so congratulations. You've got your variance, and we'll be getting that decision out as quickly as possible.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome. Now I'm going to try to do something with this that will um, so I can see the people because it is a little bit odd to not be able to do that. It's
Mhm.
if I was on the telephone, I guess I wouldn't feel funny about it, but I do here.
Sure. Do you want to try to go out and come back in?
Yeah, why don't I try to do that and I'll come back in again.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Bye-bye
see you.
for just,
Okay.
I hope just a minute.
Okay, I'll be here. Okay, Sean, Steve, and Bernadette, you're all set.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank
I'll
you.
be in touch regarding the final draft of the decision, which will be filed with the town clerk's office. Once we have done that, the 20-day appeal period will begin. I'll be reaching out at that time. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Sounds
All right,
good.
sounds good. Thank you.
Take care.
Okay.
Is that all that you need from us, sir, or can we just...
Yes, you're all set.
All right,
Thank you
thank you. Have a
very
good
much.
night.
Okay, good afternoon to you.
Okay, we're all set?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you so much for your help.
Okay, great. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello, Alessandra and Ernst.
Hello. Hold on.
Pardon me. We were just
Hi.
allowing the Zoning Board of Appeals Administrator back in. She'll be hearing your case. It's Virginia Donahue King. Pardon me just a moment. Welcome, Attorney McKettrick.
Thank you. Sorry for the delay. I was actually stuck in traffic. So I'm here.
You're excused. Traffic in Milton is a little tough right now, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, but I'm glad to see everybody's here.
So
And-
we are going to call to order the second hearing of the afternoon upon the application of Joshua Ernst and Alessandra Screnchi through their attorney Marion McEttrick of 44 Russellwood Road dated August 27th, 2024, seeking a special permit or variance to build a second-story addition to the existing garage. The property is located in the Residence C zoning district. The proposed project would be built at a distance of 7.5 feet from the left side lot line, where 10 are normally required under Article 10, Section 275-10.3A on side yards of the Milton zoning bylaw.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm Virginia Donahue King. I'm the zoning administrator and a member of the Board of Appeals, and I'll be deciding this application this afternoon. In the file, we have the application, and we have the denial letter of that application. We have a series of architectural plans showing existing conditions as well as the proposed conditions of the property. We have a plot plan showing a very unusually shaped plot due to the natural environment behind the house. We have, let's see, we have a quitclaim deed showing that the applicants are the owners of the property. A couple of pages of that. And we have a schematic of the neighborhood showing the outlining the plots that are in that neighborhood of Russellwood Road and Pine Tree Brook. We have a property record card from the town of Milton. And we also have another property chart showing a little bit where the buildings are on the properties. And we have letters of support from neighbors that are most affected by the proposed addition, which would be Matthew R. Sullivan of 40 Russellwood Road across the street, and Richard Pelton to the, let's see, the left side of the home where the addition will be built. We also have a letter from their attorney, Marion McEttrick, outlining some of the issues that are important on this application. So I'm going to turn it over to Attorney McEttrick.
Thank you. And I'm Mary McKettrick. I'm representing the applicants. Just a minor correction on the neighbors' letters. The neighbor at 40 Russellwood Road is the neighbor closest to the addition on the same side. And the neighbor at 43
So I
Russellwood
had them backwards, did I?
Yeah, but that's perfectly all right. I mean,
Okay.
then it's the neighbor across the street, directly across the street. They've provided a letter, and then the neighbor closest to the addition on the
Closest to
garage
the
side.
addition, yes.
Yeah. So thank you. And I have a little summary which I'll provide, but just to generally comment about this lot borders Pine Tree Brook. And so the back of this lot isn't straight at all. It goes down the angle of Pine Tree Brook, which means that one side is much longer than the other side. And in addition to that, although the home was constructed in 1945, the lot was shown on a land court plan in 1937. So it's a pre-existing lot to zoning. And that has significance in the sense that, well, we're not exactly sure how to apply it to this application, which is why we're asking for both a special permit and a variance, or a variance if the board is willing to grant that and a special permit. So the applicants purchased their home in 2021. And since that time, their family has grown. And I believe it now includes a 3-year-old, Henry, and 10-month-old Charlotte.
Congratulations.
Yes. I hope they're at the hearing. But so it's a colonial style home. The lot is conforming in terms of area. It's 8,183 square feet. And this is a C zone, which requires 7,500 square feet, but it only has 60 feet of frontage. So it doesn't meet all of the zoning requirements. It's legal as is because the lot was created before zoning. And however, when the house was constructed, it was constructed at a non-conforming right side setback. That's the side where the garage is being renovated, of 8.1 feet rather than 10 feet. So the house is non-conforming. It's legal as is. It's been in place for many, almost 80 years. There was a typo in my letter. It said 29 years or something, but it's been there for many years and it's therefore legal. But when you try to do renovation and you change that non-conforming side, you have to meet either a special permit standard or possibly a variance standard. And I'll explain that a little bit further as we go along. So as I say, it's an unusually shaped lot. It's not, and it also has a brook along the back. So when this house was built, the environmental laws that apply to wetlands and streams were not in place in Massachusetts. But today, you can't touch within 25 feet of the bank. And you are in an area of jurisdiction for a much greater distance back from the bank. So this means that really the backyard and perhaps even more of this lot it's in an area of jurisdiction. The applicants really have to try to avoid doing too much in that area. And that's one of the reasons. And the other reason is just the irregular shape. I think they want to create some additional space in their home and a little bit larger garage, but they want to do it in a way that has the least impact on this rear area. So they are proposing to remove the existing attached garage and replace it with a garage that's a bit bigger. So the garage is going to reach further back into the backyard, and it's going to be 7.5 feet from the side lot rather than the current 8.2 feet. You have rather detailed conceptual architectural plans, 18 pages of them, showing the house and the addition both have peaked roofs and they're going to be lined up with each other. The addition's roof is lower than the roof in the house, but it's along the same architectural lines. And then there's a second floor dormer window in the front of the addition that is designed similarly to the existing windows in the house. So I'm assuming, but I'm asking the applicants, the exterior of the new addition will match the exterior of the existing house. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the plan.
Thank you. So it's a modest addition, but it provides some very nice living space for this family because there's going to be a bedroom and a bathroom, and there's another storage space, I believe. And for this young family, this is really going to make a big difference in terms of how comfortably they can live and grow in this house. And the other thing it does is it creates a garage.
I'm losing the audio on this. It's very hard now to hear you.
Us
I
too.
hear you, but I don't always hear individual words.
Okay, well, that's not good.
No,
How about now? Is it any
that's
better?
much better. Yes, thank
All
you.
right, I'm just going to be closer to my computer. So anyway, the bottom line here is there's really limited space to provide an addition to this house. And it's because of existing physical characteristics of this lot, not characteristics created by the applicants. They've done a great job designing the addition carefully so that it will match the existing house. It doesn't overwhelm it in any way, fits in with other houses in this really pretty neighborhood. And so, we believe that this will be an improvement to the neighborhood. It won't detract from any nearby properties. Um, and finally, well, the building commissioner hasn't specified whether it's a special permit or a variance. And so what I would like to ask the board to consider would be granting a variance, just because that is the safest, if there should be a concern. And the reason for that is that applicants are extending further towards the side lot line, number one. Number two, their house was built in 1945, so it's not a pre-existing non-conforming structure. It's a non-conforming structure that's legal, and it's a little bit of a gray area as to the standard for that type of house to be, for the nonconformity to be intensified. There's a case that says quite clearly that if the house was built before 1938, it's going to be a special permit. But here it's not clear, and since the building commissioner didn't give us a determination, I'd like the board to consider whether a variance would be justified. I think you have the physical uniqueness in this lot that you look for in a variance. You have a need. I mean, this is, obviously the family has grown a lot since they bought the house. And you have a nice design that isn't going to detract from the neighborhood. So we would request that the Board of Appeals approve a variance to allow the side setback of 7.5 feet on the side where the new addition is, rather than the required 10 feet.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about that. So your preference would be to grant a variance, or what was it for both of them? I think there's certainly enough here to grant the variance. So we can write it as a variance and kind of cover more ground with that, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think a variance would, the standard for a special permit is certainly a lot easier to meet, but the same standards are included as part of the standard for a variance. So if you grant the variance, you shouldn't have to grant a special permit and a variance, because there aren't two different forms of relief for different parts of the proposal.
Right.
And then in this case, since I do see that there could be a legal justification for a variance, I think that's what we should ask for, and I'd be asking that you consider granting it.
Okay. Bill, is there anybody that wanted to speak?
Nope, no hands.
Nobody there?
No.
Okay. Well, then let's close the evidentiary portion of the hearing and decide on this right now. I'm in agreement with Attorney McKettrick that this is a very unusual lot, and you have done a very good job of trying to keep away from the natural resource in the back, which can be a beautiful thing, but it also can be kind of a pain in the neck. And so you choosing to use the area not in the front of the house, but towards the street side of the plot has freed the environmental issues from coming to the fore, and that would have been just a harder thing to try to justify and so forth. And this looks like a really well designed plan for the house, the property, and your family. So given that you've got a very unusually shaped lot, and unusual because of the brook being back there, and the fact that the neighbors that are going to have to look at this or be next to this are in agreement that this is a good thing for the neighborhood and for you. I find there's every reason in the world to grant you a full variance for that, 7 or 8 inches that we're looking for here. So I am voting as a party of one that to grant the variance, and I congratulate you on that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to see three-quarters of the family here. That's kind of
Yeah.
nice.
3-year-old's sick and watching some cartoons right now.
Don't bother.
That sounds good. So is this something where you would like me to draft a
That would be
decision
helpful for
review?
getting it out sooner rather than later. Yes.
I'd be happy to do that. Well, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Well, I'll wish you all a great evening and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Good night, all.